students. This video is on the midbrain internal structure. Okay, there will be 3 short videos on the internal structure of midbrain, and this is the first one of that. Okay, now if you see I have already just shown you the external feature of the midbrain, but just here I will quickly review again the external features of the midbrain. Midbrain is a very short part of the brain stem, and it is about 2 centimeter long. Okay, now above it is continuous with that of the cerebrum, and below it is continuous with that of the pons. Okay, now if you see the ventral aspect of the midbrain, okay, it shows the cerebral peduncles, the 2 cerebral peduncle. Let me show you with the help of the book the external feature very quickly. Again, this is Neuroanatomy for Medical Student, written by me, and I am thankful to the Wolters Kluwer, who are the publisher of this book. Okay, so just see here, I will show you this. This is the ventral aspect of the midbrain. This is the pons here. This area is the pons, and these are the 2 crus cerebri, right and left crus cerebri, or they are also called as cerebral peduncles. Now in between the 2 diverging crus cerebri, this is the interpeduncular fossa, which is also bounded by optic chiasma above and the optic tract onto the side. In this interpeduncular fossa, you can see the mammillary bodies and the posterior perforated substance. Though the mammillary body is not the part of the midbrain, okay, it is the part of the hypothalamus. So this must 2 centimeter long part of the crus cerebri is seen onto the ventral aspect. Okay, these are also, as I said, called as the cerebral peduncle. Okay, cerebral peduncle. Now from the medial aspect of this cerebral peduncle, from the interpeduncular fossa, there comes out the 3rd cranial nerve. Okay, and this also gives midbrain to the 4th cranial nerve, which will lie on the side of this crus cerebri, the lateral side. Okay, let me show you with the help of the other diagram. Okay, now see here the same. Here you cannot see the crus cerebri or cerebral peduncle because they are lying behind this, okay, blood vessels. Okay, but you can see that this is the 3rd cranial nerve which is coming out, and this is the 4th cranial nerve which comes out on the lateral aspect of the cerebral peduncles. Note that this is the basilar artery and this is the posterior cerebral artery, divides into 2 terminal branch. And then before it divides into 2 terminal branch of the posterior cerebral artery, it gives at the upper margin of the pons this artery which is called as the superior cerebellar artery. And in the gap between the posterior cerebral artery and superior cerebral artery, you can see this thick nerve, that is the 3rd cranial nerve, which comes out from the ventral aspect of the midbrain. But this is the 4th cranial nerve, you can see here. Okay, I just can't see the 4th on this side, but this is the 4th cranial nerve on this side, which comes out, okay, from the lateral aspect of the cerebral peduncles. Okay, we will see its origin from the dorsal aspect. So this is the view of the ventral surface very quickly. Let us come to the dorsal surface of the midbrain. And dorsal surface of the midbrain shows the presence of 4 rounded eminences, and these are called as colliculi or corpora quadrigemina. These 2 structures are inferior colliculi, and this is the pair of the superior colliculi which are present onto the dorsal surface. Now just below the inferior colliculi, you can see on either side, this is the origin of a very thin cranial nerve, and that is the 4th cranial nerve, that is the trochlear. This is the only cranial nerve which takes origin from the dorsal aspect of the brain stem. Rest of them will take origin from the ventral. That's why first it will go and will lie onto the lateral surface of the midbrain and then will come onto the ventral aspect, as we have seen in the ventral view. Okay, ventral view. Now this the arteries, both the nerves then will lie here, as I said, between the posterior cerebral and that of the superior cerebellar arteries. Okay, both third and the fourth, they will lie here. Okay. Now, if you will see the lateral surface of the midbrain, then you can see that from the inferior colliculus on either side, right or left, there comes a band of the white fiber which is called as the inferior brachium, and this is superior colliculus, and this is also giving the band of the white fibers or bundle of the white fibers which is called as the superior brachium. Superior brachium will go to the lateral lateral geniculate body, and inferior brachium will go towards the medial geniculate body. Okay, medial. Now the part of these are cut here, so I cannot show you the superior, medial geniculate and that of the lateral geniculate body. Okay, lateral geniculate body. Now this is a very brief, review of that of the structure, external feature of the midbrain. So this will help you to understand the internal structure also. Now to understand the internal structure of the midbrain, we will take a cross section or a transverse section passing through the midbrain, and then we can see that this cross section of the midbrain is divided into the many parts. But the striking feature in this cross section is that there is a presence of the central canal surrounded by the gray matter. So this is the central canal, which here we call it as cerebral aqueduct. Cerebral aqueduct. Don't call it central canal, but call it as the cerebral aqueduct, which is the the canal connecting the third ventricle above with that of the fourth ventricle below. Okay, and this is surrounded by the mass of the gray matter. Okay, central mass of the gray matter. Okay, a transverse section here. Okay, or a transverse line rather. This, you draw a transverse line from this section which is passing through this the cerebral aqueduct, will divide this section into two parts. See, whatsoever part lies above, towards the dorsal aspect here, where colliculi or corpora quadrigemina are present, this part is called as tectum. Okay, so posterior to this imaginary line passing through the cerebral aqueduct, this is the tectum part, and whatsoever parts lies ventral to this line, imaginary line, it is called as cerebral peduncle. So the right and left cerebral peduncle. Okay, these parts are the peduncles. Okay, cerebral peduncle. Okay, now this cerebral peduncle is also divided into the various parts, but before that, let us see the tectum. What is tectum? It is behind the line, that is the line, imaginary line, and it consists of the four rounded swelling which we have seen on the dorsal aspect at superior pair and the inferior pair of the colliculi or corpora quadrigemina. That is the constituent part of the tectum. When we come to the tegmentum, not tegmentum, to the ventral part, that is called a cerebral peduncle. Okay, right and left cerebral peduncle. Then we can divide this cerebral peduncle again into three parts. Okay, the first part here, the most ventral to dorsal, if we go, is the crus cerebri. This part is the crus cerebri. That is the part of the cerebral peduncle. Cerebral peduncle, and this lies ventral to this structure which is called a substantia nigra. This substantia nigra. Okay, nigra means black, so this part is called as substantia nigra. After this crus cerebri. So first part is crus cerebri here. The first part is crus cerebri. Second part is the substantia nigra. And then the third part behind, dorsal to the substantia nigra is the part which is anterior to this imaginary line and between the substantia nigra is called as tegmentum. Okay, this is similar to the tegmentum or upward continuation of the tegmental part of the pons. Okay, tegmental part of the pons, which was lying posterior to the or dorsal to the basilar part of the pons. So same tegmental structure of pons are continuous also into the midbrain. Okay, into the midbrain. Let us come to see now some little detailed structure of cerebral peduncle. First we will come to the most ventral part, that is called as the crus cerebri. So these are the crus cerebri is what? It is the mass of the descending white fibers. Okay, the bundles of the white fibers which are compactly arranged here into crus cerebri, right and left crus cerebri. They are densely packed. Okay, and they are descending. That means they are the motor fibers. And this bundles of the white fibers above, if you trace it above, it is continuous with that of the internal capsule. Okay, and below, naturally this will continuous into the pons. Okay, the basilar part of the pons, below it is continuous with the pons. Now the fibers which are present in this crus cerebri is divided into three different types. Okay, they are of three different types of descending white fibers. They contain corticospinal, corticonuclear and corticopontine. That means the corticospinal means going to the various level of the spinal cord coming from the cerebral cortex, hence called as corticospinal. Then corticonuclear means going to the various motor cranial nerve nuclei of opposite and same side. They are corticonuclear fiber. And then the corticopontine coming from the various part of the cerebral hemisphere, that is from frontal lobe, parietal lobe, temporal lobe, occipital lobe, and they are classified as the corticopontine. Why? Because they will end into the pons in the pontine nuclei which are present in the basilar part we have learned in the last video. Okay, and from there a new transverse fiber will arise. Okay, from this pontine nuclei to go to the middle cerebral peduncle of opposite side to end in the cerebellum. So the whole pathway of the corticopontine fibers will be said at cerebropontocerebellar. It will be called at corticopontocerebellar, not what I said just a minute. Corticopontocerebellar pathway, and these fibers will end into the right and left cerebellar hemisphere. Okay, cerebellar hemisphere. As I said, the corticonuclear will end into the motor nuclei of the cranial nerve, and corticospinal in the medulla will form the pyramid. They are motor fibers going to supply the skeletal muscle at various levels. Okay, so these are the corticospinal fibers. Okay, now this band of the white fibers which are present into the crus cerebri is divided into three different parts. Okay, on either side of the crus cerebri. This is the medial 1/3. This is the intermediate 3/5. 1/3 means you call it as 1/5. Okay, 1/5, and the lateral 1/5 part. That means major part is in intermediate, and this part contain the fibers which are corticospinal. Okay, and nuclear fibers. So two different type of fibers: corticospinal, going to the spinal cord through the pyramid of the medulla oblongata, where it will form the pyramidal decussation and will form the lateral corticospinal and the anterior corticospinal tract, which will descend down, and corticonuclear fiber going to the cranial nuclei. Thus this is going only up to the brain stem, that is up to the medulla oblongata. Okay, while this fiber, which are laterally and medially placed, these both has consist of the corticopontine fiber, corticopontine, both on right side as well as left side. This is also the corticopontine, and these fibers will ultimately form the tract which I said will be called as corticopontocerebellar pathway. Fibers of the corticopontocerebellar going to cerebellum, right? It is going to the cerebellum. So this is that part of the cerebral peduncle, the most ventral part, which we called it as the crus cerebri. Let us come to the second part, that is substantia nigra or nigra. Substantia nigra is a strip of the gray matter. Okay, it is the band of the dark gray matter. Why it is dark? And this is dark because it contains the nocell neurons, which contain melanin pigment in their cytoplasm, and these neurons are involved in the synthesis of the dopamine. They are involved in cell. And this substantia nigra, which is a strip of the gray matter, black looking gray matter, is present here between the tegmentum and the crus cerebri, between tegmentum and the crus cerebri. Let us come to the brief description of the tegmental part, the third part of the cerebral peduncle. Now it lies between substantia nigra and the tectum. Tectum is here, see here, and this is the substantia. In between the tectum and substantia nigra, this is the mass which is called as the tegmentum. Okay, and tegmentum is made up of the both white matter as well as the gray matter, and this is an upward continuation of the pons. As I have said that tegmentum is an upward continuation of the tegmental part of the pons. Okay, so it consists of ascending and descending tract, and it also has the nuclei, that is the gray matter. It consists of the gray matter, which we will see just now. Okay, which we'll see. So this is how I have explained you the external feature, that is the ventral surface of midbrain, the dorsal surface of midbrain, the lateral surface of the midbrain, and have cut a section passing through the midbrain to explain you how it is divided into tectum, that is the dorsal part, and cerebral peduncle, that is the ventral part, and further the cerebral peduncle is divided from ventral to dorsal in three parts: the crus cerebri, the substantia nigra, and the tegmentum. Now remember that the structure of the crus cerebri and the substantia nigra here is going to remain the same throughout the throughout the midbrain, as was the case with the basilar part of the pons. It was same throughout the pons. Similarly, this part, two parts, crus cerebri and the substantia nigra, they are not going to change. They will contain the same fibers, okay, descending fibers in the crus cerebri. So we will not learn further about these two parts. Okay, whatsoever we will learn here is the tegmental part and the tectal part, or tectum and tegmentum of the midbrain, and this we will learn at two different levels, that is at the lower level of the midbrain, which passes through the inferior colliculi or inferior corpora quadrigemina, and then we will learn in the third video the part of the the section of the midbrain which is passing through at the level of two superior colliculi, right? And this will explain you the internal structure of the midbrain. Thank you very much for watching this first video on the internal structure of the midbrain.